What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Taurus, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And you know why? Because it's your general energy weekly spread. So with this weekly spread, Taurus, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Taurus. So Taurus, with this spread, I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards and then we'll get some tarot to get some details on the mix. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Taurus. Oh, all right, Taurus, stay calm. Because this is an interesting card. You have the 5th card of Aquarius here, which is the Pillory card. And with this card, this is a card of open dishonor, humiliation, finding fault, punishment, abusive, shutdown, caught, public ridicule and mockery, nowhere to run, censure, serving time, invulnerable. And when this pops up, Taurus, I just like to say just in general, even whether you're in like the public eye, if you're doing like YouTube or maybe you do like public speaking, something along those lines, or just in general, just being mindful of how we're being perceived in public. It's not to say that to not be yourself. It's more so like just being aware of our behavior out in public, if that makes sense. Not doing... You're just being mindful, like, I hope that makes sense, because it's not coming across as like a controlling, or like it can't be your authentic self, but just be mindful of things that could get us in trouble, any sort of like indecent exposure. And I know you know Taurus, but just it pops out, you never know what when this card pops out, Taurus, you never know what kind of situation may come up. So just something to get eyes on. And if this is not you, Taurus, more so maybe just like keep around or keep an eye on like the people that were around too. Because for example, you ever been to like one of those office parties where it's like, yeah, we got like, okay, there's free booze, and it's just like, woo, and then that's how we go in on it, woo, and then next day you're the party animal of the of the office. So just that's kind of what I mean along those lines, Taurus. But another thing with this card, sometimes I feel like with this, like, how are we doing as far as like our self-esteem is going? Are we being kind to ourselves? Are we, because we want to be mindful of any sort of like abusive language from others as well, of course, but definitely from ourselves too, just like if you happen to do something, you're just like, or maybe you mess up on something, you're just like, oh gosh, I'm so stupid. Even things like that, Taurus, it's like, it may seem harmless, but those things accumulate over time. Our thoughts are very powerful, and it's not to say like that you can't, it's not like I'm trying to turn you into something different. It's just like, just being mindful of what we tell ourselves, because even those, and I know that's a kind of a light example, but just like if get caught up in any sort of like self-deprecating thoughts or anything along those lines, we just want to be mindful of that too, Taurus. But let's get some tarot on this thing and get some details. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, all right. Okay, Taurus. So you got the Emperor here, you have the Lovers, and then you have the Prince of Cups here. And with this energy, just one thing with this Prince of Cups. Just, again, if we have some things that, well, yeah, I feel like really if we've been in a place where we've been either like shutting ourselves down or, being, I'm getting a lot of like self-deprecation with this Prince of Cups. Possibly maybe some like esteem issues, something along those lines. Maybe this could be maybe we're feeling a little self-conscious, maybe financially, or like how emotionally, however that may be looking. I feel that if there's something that's been bothering you, Taurus, I feel that it's with the Prince of Cups. He has a tendency of keeping things bottled up. This is one of Scorpio's cards, but the thing with the Prince of Cups, if you keep those things bottled up and then you let them fester over time, they when we're in those moments and we're feeling those things, those are great moments for us to take charge and create like tower moments to get our stability back and work on these any sort of insecurities or however this might be translating, Taurus. But if we keep these things bottled up and ignore these signals from like our higher selves, like, hey, there's something that may be bothering you here. It's like, hey, why are we in these thoughts? Then eventually tower moments, begin to happen to us. And that's not, and it's not to get you, to scare you or anything, but it's just to get you to be, just to get, again, to bring some awareness that sometimes when higher self, I feel like, especially for like tower moments, definitely wants us to rise up and create tower moments ourselves, to create the change when we feel that something is not when something feels off. But if we're not paying attention to the signals, if we keep those bottled up or keep them repressed and ignore those signs, then higher self's gotta, because the Lovers can be like a connection up with higher self for me. It's like kind of like your higher self winking at you. But yeah, this is sort of like if higher self can't keep it internally, then it's just like, this is sort of like a last ditch effort. It's just like, all right, well, let's put it, I tried to keep this in-house, but let's put it in front of your face. Let's see how we respond then. So, all these, whatever we may be beating ourselves up for, if that's something that's resonating with you, it's not meant to keep you down. It's meant for you to reflect on that. How could we have brought it better? And then next time when you get another chance to rise up again, Emperor, because you will, it'll be a lot easier. You'll be able to come at it from a different perspective and see these things from a higher perspective too when we go ahead and when we turn, instead of turning adversity into an enemy, turning it into an ally, using it to rise up instead of using it to like beat us down there. So I hope that's making sense. But just thinking with this thing as well, Taurus, just thinking with the Emperor, Prince of Cups, if we are in a situation where maybe an Emperor type, maybe it's kind of in there, maybe in like the lower vibrations of the Emperor, where they may be kind of suppressing us, and take it as it resonates. This doesn't have to be like flat out, like, just spitting venom. This could be even just like little jabs, maybe it's something like, okay, it's been cute for like a little bit, but if it's something that's been, now it's starting to get to a place of where, it's not funny anymore. It's like, what are we doing? Then I feel like don't keep that bottled up, Taurus, because what happens is if we sit on that, then what's going to happen is there's going to be one day this Emperor is going to catch you on the wrong day, and then all that's going to blow up, and it can, but it's going to seem small in that moment, but really it's been like it's been like years worth of things, and not literally years, Taurus, but I hope this analogy is making sense. And just to keep it on the flip end, Taurus, we want to keep it fair. We want to be aware of any sort of like possessiveness, controlling, shutting people down, anything along those lines, Taurus. So just a lot to think about here. Let's see, let's get some tea and see what else we got here. And yeah, Taurus, if someone is being oppressive or abusive and something doesn't feel right, your higher self, your gut, because you're an intuitive sign, Taurus. If something telling you that doesn't feel right, you know, trust that gut. Let's try to get out of a weird situation here, okay? Okay, Taurus. Last couple bit on this one. Oh, what we do? Love it, higher self. So you got the Tower and you got the art card here. And so we were kind of talking about that Tower a little bit, Taurus. If there's something's going down, especially if I feel like if we're in a situation where, and let's say if this is not a person, if we're in a situation, let's say like a work thing, you know, where it feels like that the work that you're putting in is not worth the compensation that you're getting, or maybe there's this weird sort of like behavior that's going down. This to me, this is like let's manifest a Tower moment here with this, because the art card is like, one is a card of alchemy, and it's like we were saying, here's the window. You know, if especially if this is something that we've been thinking about, don't think that you don't have anywhere to run towards. Don't let anyone, you know, if that's something too that maybe we feel that we're trapped or something along those lines, don't let anyone think that for a second, because the thing is, freedom is not given to you, Taurus. Freedom is taken, so you can feel free to get that back at any time. And you know, here's the thing too, you know, just something, if, you know, I'm not sure what degree this might resonate, but, you know, just, I feel like too, we just want to be mindful of maybe letting some parties, like, or maybe some people know what's going down in your situation, just because thinking with this, you know, the pillory can be like, you know, we're getting into punishment serving time and things. Gemini, one of the lovers here, it's a sign of communication. Just something to think about as well, you know, whether this be in an abusive thing, or if this is in like a work thing, you know, however this look, don't keep this thing bottled up, you know, whatever. And if this is, you know, I'm not sure how deep this goes, but one other thing, if this is some kind of weird harassment thing or something, Taurus, you know, let's follow up with like our HR guidelines, you know, let's get all the appropriate parties in this mix here. But yeah, just a lot to think about here, Taurus. You just if however this, you know, if this resonates with you, or, you know, just anything along those lines, a lot to think about here. But I do feel that despite all of that, it may feel like a lot is going on, you know, depending on how this may translate. But this Tower here, once we got eyes on it here, towards this Eye of Shiva here, you know, we see this, you know, see the destruction for what it is. An opportunity to create something new, to create a new opportunity to get our stability back and get feeling in our confidence, feeling in our power again. So, all right. Interesting start there, Taurus, but I dig it. Let's see what else we have. I like that. Okay. You got the third card of Sagittarius here, which is the Crew card. And with this Crew card, this is a card of in sync, esprit de corps, working together as a unit, team, leadership, co-create, pooling assets, camaraderie, gung-ho, forming alliances, partnership, and team effort. And you know, with this energy, Taurus, just to, if we're tying it into this little story here, I feel that this would be a great energy for you, if something that's resonating with you, to get some people behind you. You know, let's get a team. Let's get some people. You know, maybe, you know, this isn't legal advice, but if things do happen to get in the legal realm, you know, let's get ourselves a legal team. But just more so, just like a good support group. You know, maybe some good friends, some family, however this looks. Maybe even some coworkers. You know, whatever we can find some support but just something just so that you're not going through this whole thing by yourself. And here's the thing too, even when you think about this little situation here, you got a lot of major arcana cards working here. So I feel like that it's when you get stuff like that, Taurus, your higher self has definitely got your back and wants you to get out of this thing, but we really got to tune in and follow the signs if there's any sort of indicators. And honestly, even just saying that, with thinking with that in sync, this could be a great time really to be with yourself, maybe do some journaling about this situation, maybe go for a walk, see, get something where we can process everything that's going down. If we're in, or if we get in a situation that happens to be a lot. So just something to think about. But this is also kind of coming away from that, because with this energy as well, Taurus, this is a great energy for thinking about doing some co-creation, whether that be if you want to start up your own business, for example, but this could be even if you want to start up, like maybe you want to do some rowing, do some crew, Taurus, maybe hit up some homies, see if they'd be interested. Maybe start up like a neighborhood crew thing. Maybe you start up like, look at that, you've gone from it started with the hobby, and then you might start like the next district thing, Taurus. But I mean, with this hot energy here, Emperor and the ruler and his ruler of the Tower, this is a great energy to get some stuff started, to be a leader, and however that looks. If you want to maybe start a band, maybe you want to start a gardening club, maybe you want to start a workout group. But however this looks, great energy with Pluto being in Aquarius, Neptune being in Pisces. Like, this is hell. I mean, Venus being in Cancer. Your ruler just got there on the 6th. I want to say that's when she entered. Or maybe about the 7th, I just want to say. But she's there now. She's chilling. And with Venus in Cancer, this is a great energy for forming bonds. Really tune into your intuition. Oh, tune into your feelings, Taurus, especially for you. And, I don't know if I told Libra this, but yeah, especially for you too. Tune into your emotions during this next month. Venus will be in Cancer, I want to say through the 1st of June. So pay attention to that. Form some strong bonds, some relationships. It's a great time for thinking about security in your home, for all of that there, Taurus. But let's get some tarot on the mix. All right, Taurus, let's see what we got here. Ooh, we're heating up. Man, Taurus, people in major arcana city. I like this because you got the Knight of Wands, you got the Knight of Swords, and then you got the Magus card here. So this is pretty much telling me, like, who do you want to create stuff with, Taurus? I mean, you take your pick. You got a prince, you got an emperor. I mean, people are starting to line up here. So that's just, if that's something you've been thinking about, if you want to do, and this doesn't have to be on like a super grand scale. This could be maybe even you want to do more activities with like your family, your friends, loved ones, however that looks. Maybe you're a leader or like a boss or something like that at a company. Maybe you want to do some more stuff with your employees, make it feel more like a family. What better energy? Venus and Cancer right now. Work with that type of nurturing energy, form that family. But this to me, I mean, it's like what direction do you want to go and how do you want to get it done? But this, even to me, Taurus too, even if we're not syncing up, let's say if we're not syncing up with people, this would be just a great energy for you to just sync up, again, like I was saying, sync up with yourself earlier with the lovers. And I love that. You got Mercury here, the Magus, and then Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It's like, who are you? But with this energy, I feel like this is a great thing for you to get in touch with your creativity and take some of these. If you have any sort of ideas or any kind of art that you want to cook up, maybe you want to do something with, maybe you want to, I don't know, maybe you want to build boats, maybe you want to build, work with, maybe doing woodwork with some old archaic, disciplinary tools. I don't know what you would call that, but whatever. Great energy, because when you think about it too, Taurus, you're an artistic sign, you and Libra, because the Empress, Venus It's very much about art, music, beauty. She's all about the finer things and all the things, doing things pleasurable and those things that are pleasing to the senses. Very sensual energy. And so work with that. If you've been wanting to, I mean, add any sort of beauty. Maybe you want to plant a garden. Maybe you want to, whatever. Manifest. Magician, this is saying you got all the resources you need. And you know what, if there are tools that we're missing, then what a better way to then hit up some people, pull some assets. Let's say you want to start a gardening party but you don't have the land, and maybe old Sally over there is just sitting on a thing of gold there, and she's been meaning to do something, but she don't know how to garden. Look at how these nights came together here. But this really is, I feel like, Taurus, really a great time, even to with Uranus being in your sign. What better way to, even if it's just for you, but even if you want to take it bigger, make it for the society, because hell, even Jupiter is going to be entering into your sign on the 16th. So a lot of abundance that you could bring to, just bring, Taurus, so just bring it. All right, I like that, Taurus. Let's see what let's get your last oracle card here. There we go. We're on an adventure. You got the 6th card of Geminis here, which is the Train card. And with the Train card, this is a card of moving on, life's journey, new endeavor, going away, one direction, one track, focus, on time, keep going forward, going with the flow, inflexible, steady climb, and no resistance. In Taurus, this, to me, great energy for just like, all those ideas we were just kind of cranking through there. Great time to start a new endeavor, to harness to refine an existing routine or excuse me, an existing skill. This could be too, Taurus, even just thinking with how you got the train, these boats. Well, we're going to ignore that one. Or maybe you're going to go to like a historic site. No, let's not ignore that. Maybe you're going to go, what I'm trying to get at, maybe you're going to go on some kind of trip. Maybe this is going to go see some historic ways of how punishment was formed. Or maybe we're going to go on a cruise, or maybe go, I don't know, go on canoeing or something. Maybe we're going to go on a train somewhere. Maybe you're going to fly, but whatever this is, especially with these 2 nights here, these are, the fastest. They're the kings in traditional decks, but these are some pretty fast moving nights here. And this just feels like, if you've been wanting to go on an adventure or start something new, I mean, what a great energy for it. What a great cycle that we're in, especially, wrapping up. We still got what? Still at least have another week or so of your birthday season left, Taurus. So let's live it up. Let's create a few more memories. Got to stop after your birthday season, but really live it up to the fullest. Make the most of this. But I do feel that also, just thinking about the focus on this card, if there is something that you've been kind of cooking up, that you've been wanting to get started here, I do feel like with both, especially both this Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords here, and the Emperor, really, this is a time to really start cracking down, getting focused. If this is something that you've been, if this is like this is going to be something like real big that you're creating here, really kind of crack down. Let's start partnering with some people if we need to do some connections, anything along those lines. But let's get some tarot on this. Okay, Taurus. Let's see what we have here. All right, Queen of Pentacles. I see you. Oh, Taurus. Oh, Taurus. You're building a community here. I'm not sure what's going down. This is dope. You got Princess of Disc. Princess of Disc. Wow. cut that out. Princess of Disc, Queen of Cups, Queen of Disc, and the Eight of Wands. And with all this energy here, Taurus, this is a very abundant little pocket here. You know, this is something that, I mean, the Princess of Disc, she is pregnant with just like ideas. Let's start with all these ideas that we're cooking up here, because just even thinking with the Eight of Wands, she is full of ideas, because she's got, I don't know if you can see back here, this grove, this empty grove here. This is like, she's got a whole idea. I mean, her and the Queen of Disc, they both have this these opportunities that are just like around them. I mean, they're just surrounded by just abundance. And they're the types that they're going to take that energy and they're going to pour that into whatever it is that they're nurturing right now. And really give that all the love and the growth and the tenderness that it needs. You know, just even thinking with the Queen of Cups. But this really, to me, Taurus, even feels like, you know, how we were talking about with, like, if you're thinking like some kind of community thing, because you've got a whole bunch of people here. And, you know, just thinking about the Princess of Disc too, you know, how that little slip up. If we are thinking about maybe expanding the family, I do feel like this is a great time. I mean, this is like a whole party here, you guys. But if we're not, you know, let's be mindful. But, you know, Taurus, this does feel like, you know, if you're thinking about doing something community wide or anything like that, I feel like there are a lot of people who would want to support you. But also, just thinking with that pillory again, you know, like, let's just be mindful, because since there are so many people that are just kind of hovering around this abundance here, you know, depending on what you're doing, let's also be mindful. But are there more? Okay, now let's switch back over. I was like, is there any more to this little abundance story here? Because, I mean, this is strong here. And just one more thing, just thinking with the Eight of Wands as well, like how we were saying, this can be a card of this can be a card of travel as well, you know, the Eight of Wands. And just thinking with the Queen of Cups kind of sneaking into the mix here, if we have been really busy with stuff, maybe you have been kind of going and haven't had a chance to just sort of stop and take a break again, maybe hang out with some friends, you know, however that's looking, make sure we're taking some time to self-care, you know, that we're checking our energies and making sure that just everything is flowing really well there, Taurus. And yeah, overall, this is a really, really dope reading. You know, I feel like there's some big things that can happen. You know, definitely, I feel like, too, you know, if we are thinking about doing some hobbies, some things, you know, if this is not something personal, definitely be open to just kind of spitballing with some people, you know, see where that takes you. So I feel like this might be a busy time for you here, Taurus. Things might be picking up, so get rest up now. So I like that. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So give that a thumbs up if anything resonated, if you like that. Help get this message around, and share this, Taurus. If you know someone who might be in some kind of weird situation, maybe with this pillory, or, you know, maybe just needs to go on a vacation, or you just need to hang out with some friends, definitely share this. And then have all these people that you brought here, this little royal procession here, have them all get in line for, no, I'm just kidding, for subscribe, hit that bell button that you can get notified when I release videos each week. And then I created this group on another place you can bring these people. I'm on this meditation app. I've been on it for years, and this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, to talk about your journey. You know, what were some, you know, amazing moments, maybe what are some challenges, how you rose above them, just all types of stuff like that, Taurus. And then as it grows, definitely want to, Queen of Cups and I are definitely talking about some things, and, you know, just getting some ideas cooking up, you know, some different meditations. So definitely check that out, and that information is in the description box. And then the last thing, got a nice little ticket here, Queen of Cups. Not that you need one. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, geek out when the Queen of Cups pops up. It's a good old time. And all that's, look at that, ring an alarm for it. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Taurus. I like that. All right, interesting. So you got the Seven of Wands here, Taurus. And then let me, oh, you know what? That makes sense. Let me get your oracle card. But for some of you, I feel like maybe with the Seven of Wands, one thing I'd like talking about this, beneath this card, that middle wand there is the Six of Wands. And that's a card of, like, you know, love, victory, good stuff, that big win. But you know how we were talking about earlier, if we get in like any sort of self-deprecating thoughts, bring ourselves down, anything along those lines, that can get us in the way of our victory, get in the way of our, you know, getting that all this abundance, you know, that's happening here, help, you know, prevent us from manifesting, you know, we get in our heads. It's a whole thing. So definitely with that energy, we want to be mindful of any sort of criticisms, whether they be from others or they be from ourselves. And if this is from others, here's the thing, you know, unless they're providing any sort of like constructive criticism to, right, you got the Witch of Bones in reverse here, to strengthen the foundation of what you're doing, then I would say take what they, you know, just like how I say at the beginning, take what resonates with you and leave the rest with them, because this is not a time to doubt your ideas. It's one thing, again, if they're providing like maybe like, oh, I like that idea, but had you considered this, this, and that, you know, what would be some options there? Let's brainstorm. You know, those are the kind of people that we want to keep around us, you know, that support our, I tell you this is the Witch Bones in reverse, but that support our dreams, support what we're manifesting. And because this is a time to, the only crazy ideas, you know, right now are the ones that aren't being implemented, you know, so dream big, be creative, and don't keep that stuff bottled up, and don't think that you can't achieve greatness, Taurus, because I feel like there are a lot of people, you know, we've got to be mindful of them, but I feel like there are a lot of people who want to support you in this and see this thing grow. So let's get to what perfect little gardening energy here. Let's get that abundant garden growing. I like that. So you stay safe out there with this, you know, pillory and things. Just be mindful. You know, nothing to, I feel like you don't gotta, you know, nothing to be like extra, you know, anything extra. Just, you know, trust your intuition, Taurus. And you keep raising that vibration through the roof, because it looks like you're about to raise the Soul Tribe's vibration. I don't know what you're cooking up here, but I'm with it. And I will get you on the next one later.